Hey everyone, welcome back to another long overdue video here on the second channel. Just a couple of updates. Mainly, I've been playing Splatoon 3 a lot. That was a lot of fun. I went to 2 events at a racetrack in real life, and I got to drive for free as well, which was pretty great. There's been some manga acquisition. Not a lot of different series or franchises, but rather a lot of volumes. I bought a figure. And then I'm going to tell you about what videos to expect in the future. So yeah, the first thing, Splatoon 3. Yeah, I really like that game. It's a lot of fun. I don't really know what more to say, except I found it very interesting that how some of the multiplayer things were tweaked in terms of the menuing so that you're not just waiting for a game to start. When the names come in, you can kind of run around, shoot stuff, and do other things while you're waiting. And also, the basic weapons are like, I don't know if this was the case before, but I used to be good with those 2 dual shooters that look like, like Milwaukee impact drivers or something, like the dual ones. But I realized now, for some reason, most basic versions of most of the weapons are usually the best ones. I guess they're just the most balanced, and just by design, they kind of wanted it to be that way. All the other weapons are skewed like way too far in one or the other direction. Also, like I said, I was at 2 track events there. One was on a Toyota thing because I own a Scion FRS / Toyota 86 GT86 Subaru BRZ. I was invited to try out the GR86 as well as the Supra. That was in the beginning of April, and as some of you car people know, only recently journalists got to drive the manual Supra. So yeah, we just had the automatic one. By the way, that does not feel like a DCT at all. People are always saying like, oh, the ZF8 speed is so great. As much as I want to support my fellow Germans at Zahnradfabrik Friedrichshafen, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's that great. Then again, I don't think any automatic transmission is great to begin with. They also unveiled the GR Corolla there. By the way, the one that they showed on the straight pipes, that car, that was the exact car that we also saw at the event there. So if you ever see that straight pipes review, yeah, and when you do the close-ups of all the vents, yeah, I shoved my hands and fists into all the openings to see if they were functional. So yeah, just let that picture sink in. And then I went to Drive Festival 2022. That was actually just a couple of weeks ago at the same track. Yeah, by the way, that was at Canadian Motorsports Park, in case I didn't mention that, aka Mosport. And I drove an Elantra N there, and that was really, really cool. I managed to be very fast on track compared to some of the sports cars, but yeah, I think there were a lot of people driving there who never drove on track. And I have some simulator experience, so, it's not like I'm a driving god or anything. In terms of manga stuff, yeah. To Love or Darkness, one of my favorite things, anime related there. So I figured, hey, the manga exists, why don't I actually just collect all of it? It is in English, right? And I figured since it's a very ecchi sort of thing, I should support that. And man, it's hard to get all the 18 volumes. So I'm going to tell you which ones I have right now. Hold on, I'm looking over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then there's a couple I don't have. 11, 12 I have, 6, and then 18. And 18 is the last volume. So I'm missing a whole bunch. I got all of them either from Indigo, which is like our Barnes and Nobles in Canada, just like it is equivalent, I guess. In case you're wondering, it's like our big bookstore thing. But volume 3 I had to import from Great Britain. So yeah. And there's some other ones I could get from UK from the same place, but it's like I spent $30. Now at least I have the first 7 volumes, so I can just kind of read through it. I'm probably gonna have to spend that amount of money to get the other ones as well, or probably a smarter thing is to look at used bookstores and just see what they have. And also related, because the author that does To Love or Darkness, To Love or Darkness is actually drawn by one person, or rather illustrated, I should say, by one person, and then the script is written by another person. Kentaro Yabuki is the person who does the illustrations, and he also has another manga that he has since started and is well into over 100 chapters now, which is Ayakashi Triangle. And I really like it. It's less fan service, but there's more plot, and I think it's generally more interesting than To Love Your Darkness usually is. It's gonna be an anime, so hopefully, yeah, I hope it's gonna become a popular thing. But I pre-ordered the first volume, and I think there's the second and the third I can pre-order now as well. So I'm gonna see how the first volume is, just to make sure there's no weird changes they did in the translation. I bought finally my very first Neptunia figure. It's like, I know, right? It's like, geez, how long did that take? Here, I'll show you what it is. So, PlayAsia thankfully still had you could still pre-order. And I figured, you know what? This is a very good figure because, I don't know, I just think it's really interesting. It's in terms of what I have and don't have yet. This has a really elaborate base. I think that looks really cool with this, the swooshiness and the star effects. She also has a very elaborate dress, which we'll get to a little bit later. But yeah, I think that is pretty cool. Look, and it's like, I guess it's very detailed, and I think such very detailed, elaborate clothing is a cool thing. But when you look around, there's some other things that are cool about it as well. It actually does look a little bit like a wedding dress too, which I think is interesting. But you can undo certain things, as in like clothing items, and then it starts ticking more boxes. So yes, I do like the outfit. It has it checks the elbow gloves and the thigh high stuff. Oh yeah, garter belt as well. And what I also find I reached a picture when the preview pictures there where I was just presented with this ass, and I was like, okay, yeah, I guess I'll have to order this now. Also, the straps go under the panties, which I thought was interesting. I don't think you usually see that. So there you go, something a unique detail, not often discussed. And I like it has two modes because I think it doesn't look lewd at all in its in its normal state, but then you've got cute lewd in when you take the clothing off, and then there you go. But it's not completely cast off. They wouldn't do that with Neptunia, I guess. And then the last thing I want to talk about is upcoming videos that are that you're going to see in the main channel. So right now I'm working on a video about where anime which were spawned by games. So you know how the saying is like the manga came first or whatever. But I always find it interesting when the game is actually the source material for an anime. There's some obvious ones like Neptunia, for example. But I think at this point I can split it into two lists. I was like, oh, I'm almost reaching 20. Maybe I should do 2 lists of 10. So I'm going to do like, a 10 list and then 10 more. And then whatever the title is going to be. But yeah, that's that. Those are the updates. Thank you for watching, and then hopefully I'm going to be able to upload some stuff here on the second channel that's not just always update videos, I always say that I want to do something here on the second channel, and then I leave it dormant for a bit. So sorry about that, but I guess that's how it is. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.